Eric over here with H&K. So we're doing a little queen grafting deal here today, where we're going to be doing some cell bars with some new queen cups on them. We're going to be placing queen young larva, 1 to 3 day old. What you really want to find is 1 to 2 day old larva. So you got to go through your breeder colonies, find the right frames. Some people set frames in there and time it out. I personally don't have time for that, so I just go through, find the right age brood, pull them, and do it that way. Some of the things that we look for our breeder queens is good brood production, mite resilient, of course, honey production. What I also look for is how clean the bees keep the colony. I've got some colonies that propolize everything really bad, or they'll do a lot of cross combing or webbing, things like that. I don't like to use those bees for that reason. It just kind of makes a mess. So this queen here, I like her because she uses a lot of really good brood pattern. She keeps the combs really clean. This colony does. Very prolific breeders, and they also produce a lot of honey. This colony does. So what you're looking for as far as a frame to graft from is one that's almost all hatched out. Just recently, as you can see on this frame here, it's still hatching out. All these cells are probably a day or less from hatching. As you can see, some of them are coming out as we're speaking here. But that tells me that the queen's been back on here. She's laid it out, and you can see, I don't know if you can pick this up on the camera, but these different age larvae in here. You got some older stuff down here on the bottom where she first started, and it goes younger and younger and younger all the way out to eggs, all the way out on the outer perimeter. So what you want is, you see the eggs here, you want to come right behind that in this row here. So this patch is going to have your best age larva in here. Okay, most of this is going to be too old. There might be 1 or 2 in here where like one of these cells have hatched out and she's come back and laid it out. But you just kind of keep a look, and what you're looking for is a larva that's in a comma shape like that. It's not in a C. Once they start to form to a C, they're too old. So you want them in an open comma and the same size or smaller than an egg. Okay, so if you know what a bee egg looks like, imagine a larva that's smaller than that or around the same size as the egg. Okay, and it's still in an open comma shape. Okay, once they start to form a C, they're too old. Alright, and so what I use is a Chinese grafting tool. Tried out the different various types. I've got, a German grafting tool here that I've used mixed results with. These Chinese grafting tools are good because they can pick up a lot more of the royal jelly in there. Keeps your larvae fed and wet while they're being transferred until the nurse bees can get on them and start feeding them. I use a Michael Palmer method for raising a starter colony, then a finisher colony. So all these grafts will go into a finisher colony after the cells have been started. So I leave them in my starter colony for 24 hours, and then I pull them out, place them above a queen excluder in a finisher colony. So it's a queen right colony with a queen excluder, an open brood, and honey with a feeder on it. Very important that you feed your bees while you're doing this. Make sure there's plenty of pollen or pollen substitute. A well-fed queen is going to be a good queen. If it's not well-fed, you're going to have a lot of problems. It's not going to get mated right. It's probably not even going to come back to the colony. You're just going to have a lot of problems. So that's kind of where we're at. I can see if I can scoop some of these out. I've already done 1 bar here, and I use a wet cloth here to keep them damp, moist while we're doing this. Got to use a warm wet towel, and so I grafted 1 larva into each cell. Okay, and then you cover them up, keep them wet, and then as I go, I cover the cells. Okay, as I place them in, so I don't put 2 in each cell or lose my place here. It just makes it a little bit faster. The faster you can transfer your larva from here to your cell cups and then these into your your starter colonies, the better off you'll be, the better results you'll have. And that being said, I started my starter colony right around 10 days ago. So I've gone through it a couple times, cut queen cells out of it, made sure that they're hopelessly queenless, packed it out. It's a 10-frame Langstroth box, just packed with bees. It's got lots of pollen in there, lots of open honey, and a feeder on it. It's very important, again, that you feed your bees while you're doing this. Well-fed queens with loads of royal jelly is paramount. So you want them to fill this entire cup up with royal jelly, to where once the queen hatches, there's still royal jelly in this cup. If there's not royal jelly left in this cup when that queen hatches, it's not as good a queen as you could have made. So that's the goal anyway. And I put these in the colony yesterday, empty. They polished them out and got them ready for my larva to go in today. Okay? So again, what you're doing is you're looking